Okey, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and good morning. Okey, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and good morning. Dengar tak suara?
Dengar, Doktor.
Alright. So what we're going to do today is we do some exercise regarding on the topic covered for test 2, which is balancing, reciprocating, and also flywheel. Alright, maybe we cannot cover all the three exercise as we have a time consuming. Just we have a look one or two questions regarding on this topic. Okay, so we look at the first exercise. This one is exercise questions from previous tests from 2016 and 2017. All right, this is about question number 1. Okay, about balancing. Okay, so we look at this one. 4 uniform discs of mass 10 kg each are fixed onto a shaft which is rotating constantly at 300 rpm and supported by two bearing. Alright, two bearing. Sekejap Alright, two bearing X and Y as shown in figure question 1. Alright, the system is initially balanced if a few modifications are carried out, such as this A, we dispose of around 0.2 kg at radius 0.1 meter and angle 180 degree. Alright, and then we modify this D by adding 0.1 kg at radius 0.2 meter and angle 207 degree. And last one, we modified this D by adding 0.1 kg as well at radius 0.2 meter and angle 0 degree. So this is our reference angle, right? And then we need to find or identify dynamic force acting on bearing X and Y. All right, bearings X and Y. So what happened here is we just only consider all the discs, which is we made some modifications here. So we have this A, this C and D. All right, so no need to consider this B. All right, no need to consider this B, as this B is maintained with 10 kg. Okay, so what happened is that first step is, of course, we need to find, or we need to tabulate our table, MRD table, which is what we can include inside the table is that, of course, we need to consider A, this A, C and D, isn't it? A, C and D, and also we need to consider reference of shaft, which is X and Y, because we need to find dynamic force acting on bearings X and Y. Okay, so our table is, you just construct your table, MRD table. We have plane MR, D, MRD, and last one we have data. All right, see. So this is plane MR, D, MRD. Okay. Ada yang buat ke soalan ni? Okay, we have plan A and then we have reference, we have shaft X, and then we have C, and last one we have D. Okay, so what is our M of modification, which is negative 0.2? Okay, dispose. We dispose A with negative 0.2 kilogram, and then radius is 0.1, and then what is our MR? So negative 0.02. And how about D? Alright, D, we taking X our reference. Alright, we taking X our reference. You can choose either X or Y, it's up to you. But I think we can consider X is easier, isn't it? So we can consider X as our reference. Then what happens to our D of X, D of A, from X to this A? What is our D? We assume negative to the left and positive to the right. So D of A is negative 0.2. So negative 0.2. Okay. Then what is our MRD? So just multiply MR and D, then we have positive 0.004 with angle is 180. Okay, and then what is our X? Of course, X is not included for MR. Then just mention it as MRX, and D is 0. So MRD D is 0, then this is 0, and this is theta X. Okay, and how about C? C is 0.1 positive because we addition of 0.1 kilogram with radius 0.2, and then we have 0.02, and then D is 0.1. MRD is 0.002 with angle 270. And last one we have D, which is 0.1. Positive or negative? Positive. Alright, and then we have R is 0.2. We have MR 0.02. And then we have D 0.3. Sorry, D is 0.3, isn't it? From reference to D, which is 0.3. And then MRD 0.02 times 0.3, we have 0.006 with angle is 0 degree. So this is our MRD table. Alright. Sorry, plan Y. Satu lagi. Saya tertinggal pula. Plan Y supposed to be, tak apalah, saya buat kat bawah lah. Sepatutnya kita kena buat, tak apa, tak kisah pun. So just add satu lagi plane Y. This is Y. This is MRY. And then from X to Y, berapa? What is our D? 0.2. 0.2, and then we have MRD must be 0.2 MRY. Okay, with angle is theta Y, so theta Y. So we taking reference at shaft or bearing X. Alright, bearing X. Then what happened? So macam mana next step? Lukis lah kan direction dia. Okay, lukis, and then A dekat mana? How about A? A is 180. Refer to our plane, reference plane. 180 is to the left. So we have MRD, so this is MRD punya direction lah. Okay, so we have 0.004 to the left, and then we have 0 of x. We have c is 0.002, also positive, but direction is downward, so 0.002. And then we have 0.006, isn't it, for D with angle 0 degree. So this is must be to the right, 0.06. Kalau tak faham tanya terus soalan. 0.006 to the right, and then last one we have unknown 0.2. Just so for this case we just resolve it to x and y component. Then what we have, so first is this is our 0.2 MRY y, okay, and the other one is 0.2 MRY x. Okay, this is x and this is y. Then what we have is we just resolve it to x analysis. All right, so what we have, we have 0.2 MRY x, okay, MRY x plus 0.006 minus 0.004 equals to 0. Then we can obtain the value of MRYX. So cuba kira dapat berapa? 0.006 minus 0.004 and then bahagi 0.2. So negative, isn't it? So negative 0.01. So negative meaning to say that MRYX must be 0.01 to the left. Okay, and how about y analysis? Okay, y analysis, then what we have 0. Dekat sini kita ada apa? Kita ada negative 0.002. Then we have plus with 0.2 MRY y equals to 0. Then what is our MRYY? 0.01. 0.01. So MRY should be, this is upward lah, should be 0.01 squared plus 0.01 squared third. So berapa MRY? 0.014, isn't it? Betul? 0.014. So that is our MRY. 0.014. Then we can actually find what is our theta y by obtaining value of x and y component. So 0.01 over 0.01, then we get 45, isn't it? 45 degree. Okay, so the question is we need to find dynamic force acting on bearing x and y. Then from here we can actually find terus, dapatkan terus Fy, betul? So dapatkan terus Fy, then what is our Fy? And kita tahu we have mr omega squared, isn't it? mry omega squared. Then we have MRY kita tadi berapa? 0.014 times with omega. What is our omega? 300. So 300 times 2 pi over 60 squared. Then our Fy must be 13.8, betul? Newton. 13.8 Newton with angle 45 degree. Okay, with angle 45 degree. Okay, and then kita nak buat satu lagi MR analysis. This is MRD analysis, so this is MR analysis untuk dapatkan X lah pula. So this one just kalau tak perlu nak buat table barulah, just refer to this table boleh juga. So for MR analysis we just taking this one and refer to this one. Okay, so since kita dah dapatkan MRY tadi berapa, just put in our table lah. Alright, put in our table, which is this one must be 0.014 with angle 45 degree. Okay, so refer back to this table, then just buat X analysis balik lah. Alright, and X analysis, so what we have, kita lukis balik. Kita lukis balik, so what happened, kita ada MR negative 0.02 with angle 180. So negative maksudnya sini, tapi kita letak negative 0.02. Negative 0.02, this is for plane A, and then for MR X, MRY unknown, kita skip dulu, kita ambil yang C. C we have 0.02 angle 207, which is downward, 0.02, and then for D we have also 0.02 but angle is 0, betul? Angle is 0, then we have 0.02, and last one we have 0.014 with angle 45 degree. 45 degree kat mana? Tengok, refer balik dekat kita punya table lah, reference table dekat sini, then 0.014 must be somewhere here lah, 0.014. Alright, and last one we put our unknown lah. We put our unknown, which is, what is our unknown? We have MRX and MRY. So this is second quadrant. Apa dia? Second quadrant ni. Sorry. Untuk Y. Untuk Y, oh sorry, betul-betul. Sebab kita dapat negatif kan. So should be, direction kita must be second quadrant. Somewhere dekat sini. 45 degree. Okay, betul-betul. So sorry, so 45 degree must be second quadrant because we have negative. MRY negative, so kena hati-hati dekat sini lah. Alright, you must be very careful on that point. So should be second quadrant. Sedap pula. $45 somewhere here. So 0.014. Okay, with 45 degree. Alright, okay. So next is so we have MR, MRY, and then we have MRX. Okay, so what we have is so we have for X analysis, what we have MRX, sorry, should be MRXY, MRXY. So this is MRXX. Okay, so MRXX, so MRXX plus 0.02 minus 0.014 cos 45 minus negative 0.02 equals to 0. Okay, so then we can obtain what is our MRX X. So berapa? Cuba kira. So we have 0.02 minus 0.014 cos 45 plus 0.02, then we have a negative, isn't it? So negative 0.03. Okay, and then after that we need to find Y analysis pula. So what we have MRXY plus 0.014 sine 45 minus 0.02 equals to 0. 0.01. Yang mana ni 0.1 ni? Jawapan dia ke? 0.01 ke 0.0? Okey, MRY 0.014 sin 45 negative 0.01. So 0.01. Syami ni advance sangat ni. So MRXY sama dengan 0.01. This one is negative, so we need to say that 0.03 to the left. Okay, so this one is upward. So our quadrant should be occur on second quadrant juga kan? Second quadrant juga. Jalan second quadrant. So we can actually find what is our MRX. 0.03 squared plus 0.01 squared set. So what is our MRX? 0.03 squared plus 0.01 squared set. 0.0316. 0.0316. Then what is our angle? Inverse tangent y 0.01 divided by 0.03. Okay, inverse tangent 0.01 0.03 18.43 degree. Alright, so once we get MRS, then we can actually find what is our Fx lah, which is MRX omega squared, which is 0.0. Kat sini salah ni, should be sini kan, 45 degree. Okay, this one 0.0316 times with 300 to pi over 60 squared. So Fx must be 300 times 2 pi 60 squared times 0.0316. So 31.2 Newton with angle 18.43 degree. So this is our answer for A. Okay, any question? Tak perlu, kalau nak buat pun boleh. Alright, tak perlu. Nak buat pun tak ada masalah. Kalau rasa macam tak suka, buat. No need to worry about it. Alright. Sebab sama je, kalau kita construct MR table, then we just only taking up to MR only, and then we consider theta. No need to consider D. Is there any way to reconfirm our answer either right or wrong? Macam mana nak confirm? Boleh, you can actually do another method, which is polygon method, by taking your real value, meaning to say that you need to find or use a real scale. Alright, for example, if you assume 1 cm equivalent to 0.01 kilogram meter, then you can construct your answer by construct the polygon punya shape lah. Alright, because from there you can actually reconfirm that your answer is correct or not, because at the end the answer must be the same. Alright, you can study, or you can find how to use that method, because I think the method is already mentioned in your module, isn't it? Alright, you can study by your own, but I not recommend you to use that method, because the method tu dia lebih ataupun dia melibatkan real skill kan. So kalau set silap guna skala yang salah, maksudnya salah jawapan. Alright, but if you use this method, this is the easiest way, I think, alright, to get the answer. Okay, tapi boleh try, tak ada masalah. You can try it by your own. Alright, okay, any other question? No? Okay, question number B. I think this is very critical, because we need to find the total maximum force acting on bearings X and Y. Alright, total maximum force acting on bearings X and Y. So macam mana nak buat? How to find it? If we're talking about total maximum force, so meaning to say that we need to consider two analysis. First is, we need to consider two types of forces. First is dynamic force, and the other one is static force. Alright, static force. Okay, so how to find it? We need to construct our, ataupun kita buat analysis. We do some analysis on the shaft first. So what happened if we construct our shaft? This is our shaft. This is question number B. Okay, and then so for static analysis, we always assume that direction of reaction force acting on the shaft must be always acting downward. Alright, there must be opposite to the reaction acting to the bearing. Alright, dia mesti direction dia tak sama arah lah. So apa yang kita ada adalah kita ada point A dekat sini, we have point B, we have bearing X, we have shaft X lah kat sini, X, and then we have C, we have Y, and we have D. So how to consider our value of mass? What is our A? A adalah dia dah dispose kan, so apa baki mass yang tinggal? Siapa yang tanya semalam should we use 10 kg ataupun kita kena guna mass yang dah dimodified? Alright, so saya beritahu semalam kena guna 10 kan, but the question the right answer is you need to use the mass after modification. Alright, because soalan is regarding on the mass after modification, not before modification. Alright, so mass of A should be berapa after dispose? So what is our mass left? Berapa? Sepuluh tolak dengan 0.2 kan, so should be 9.8 acting downward. So 9.8, 9.81, which is G. Okay, and our distance is 0.1 over here. And how about B? B is not we not modify any no modification on this B. So what is our mass for B? Maintain 10 kilograms in it. So 10 times 9.81. How about C? C is addition. So we have 10.1. Betul? 10.1, 9.81. And then last one we have D, also addition. 10.1, 9.81 with shaft of Rx is upward and shaft of Ry also upward. Okay, this is we do analysis on the shaft, not on the bearing. All right, we do analysis on the shaft. Then at the end of our answer, you just need to change your direction of reaction lah dekat X and Y. So distance is, this one is 0.1, X to C also 0.1, this is 0.1, 0.1. Okay, so taking moment about any point, for example, you taking moment about point Y. Alright, we taking moment about point Y. Okay, so what happened? We assume positive to clockwise. So first is we have negative 9.81, 9.81, 9.8 times 9.81 times distance from Y to A. Berapa? 0.4 and negative 10, 9.81. Distance is 0.3. Okay, and then we have plus Rx. Distance is 0.2. Okay, and then apa lagi? Kita ada negative 10.1, 9.81. Distance is 0.1. Okay, and last one we have positive one. So positive 10, 9.81 times 0.1 equals to 0. Alright, equals to 0. Alright, cuba dapatkan what is our Rx. Okay, find what is our Rx. Tiga 339.4, is that correct? 339.4 Rx, betul? Ini ada answer? Betul So we have 339.4, we have 339.4, but for Rx is here is acting on the shaft. So how about acting on the bearings? So this is acting on shaft, which is upward, acting on shaft. Alright, so Rx, reaction force acting on bearing must be opposite lah. Alright, 339.4 should be downward, acting on bearings. Alright, acting on bearings. So once we get Rx, just find another one by consider summation of Fy equals to 0 in order to find what is our Ry. So we have negative 9.8, 9.81 minus 10, 9.81 plus Rx. Rx kita dapat kan? So Rx adalah plus 339.4. Yang ni kena, this one is our final answer. Alright, but untuk to do analysis, Rx ni refer kepada shaft lah, sebab kita buat analysis dekat shaft. Plus lah sebab direction is upward. So 339.4 minus 10.1 9.81 plus ry minus 10.1 9.81 equals to 0. Alright, so dapatkan your ry berapa? Dapatkan ry berapa? $53, betul eh? $53. Cik Syami je jawab, ni yang lain mana ni? Betul eh? 53. Alright, so 53 direction is upward. This one acting on shaft. Alright, so Ry acting on bearing must be 53 Newton. Should be downward lah. This one is acting on bearing. Alright, so this is not a maximum. So how to find a maximum force acting on bearings? You need to combine your dynamic force and also a static force. So apa yang kita buat ni adalah analysis of static force, right? Analysis of static force. So how to find our, dah habis dah. Sekejap, saya tambah satu lagi. So how to find maximum static force, maximum force acting on bearings X and Y. So total maximum, yes, so total maximum force should be dynamic force plus static force. Alright, dynamic force plus static force. Alright, so kena hati-hatilah, kena fahamkan soalan betul-betul apa yang dia nak. Alright, kalau dia beritahu maximum force ataupun dia beritahu maximum dynamic force, alright, tu benda yang berlainan. Kalau dia beritahu maximum force dan juga maximum dynamic force, alright, two different things lah, you must know. Tapi the question is, we need to find total maximum force. Total maximum force maksudnya total maximum daripada dynamic force dan juga static force. So F max about X as it should be, for X should be berapa kita dah kira tadi. Untuk Fx tadi berapa tadi, yang mana? 31.2 31.2 plus with Rx 339.4 betul. So what is our answer? 31.2 plus 339.4, then the answer should be 370.6 Newton. And F maximum for Y should be, kita the dynamic force of for Y is 13.8 plus maximum static force for Y is 53. So the answer must be 13.8 plus 53, so 66.8 Newton. So that is our answer. Alright, is that clear? Ada soalan nak tanya? Okay, soalan C, dia beritahu apa kat situ? Two bearings, one can withstand 2 kN force and the other one 1 kN are to be installed. Alright, state which bearing is to be located at X and Y. So bearing yang ada 2 kN, yang mana yang lebih sesuai untuk kita install, sama ada dekat position X or Y. Bearing 2 kN, which point? X or Y should be installed yang 2 kilonewton. Kalau kita tengok dekat sini, our maximum force yang ada pada X adalah 370.6 dan juga Y adalah 66.8. Then after that, your maximum 2 kilonewton force yang withstand dekat mana yang sesuai. 2 kilonewton yang must be dekat X lah, sebab kita maximum force lagi tinggi dekat X kan. So 2 kilonewton kita install dekat X, then 1 kilonewton kita install dekat Y, sebab dia punya maximum force Y ni 66.8 kan. Alright, itulah jawapan dia. So boleh korang sendiri lah macam mana kan. Okay, any question nak tanya? That is about question number 1 for your test. Maximum force tu just tambah, yes, just tambah magnitude saja, no need to consider direction. Alright, because dynamic dia sentiasa always berputar pada kedudukan yang sama, dynamic force. Alright, nilai dynamic force tu dia akan berputar pada kedudukan yang sama. Kalau soalan tanya, yes, kalau soalan tanya vertical, then you need to consider vertical only lah. Alright, vertical force dekat bearings. Okay, so maksudnya dekat sini hanya melibatkan vertical force sahaja kan. Kalau vertical shaft mana tadi ni? Kalau vertical shaft, sekarang ni soalan dia nak tanya dekat bearing kan. So dekat bearing just total maximum macam tu je lah. Tapi kalau dia beritahu yang vertical ni, then you need to consider for dynamic ni, kena, kalau kita tengok dekat sini kan, 48, this one, dia punya reference angle ni, dia punya kedudukan dia bagi kita view from here. Jadi kalau kita tengok 45 degree ni, dia must lies on second quadrant meaning to say that dekat sini kan, dekat sini. So dekat sini maksudnya kena resolve lah. Resolve yang vertical hanya dekat mana? Melibatkan this one, isn't it? So kena resolve lah sama ada upward or downward. So kalau dia beritahu soalan melibatkan vertical, then you need to consider vertical force only. So kena resolve. Tapi the question is, dia nak beritahu, dia nak dapatkan total maximum force. So just tambah macam tu je lah kalau dia beritahu macam tu. Kalau soalan beritahu total vertical force, itu benda lain pula lah. Nak kena faham. Okay, clear? Ada soalan nak tanya? Tak ada. Alright, so if no question, kita tengok, kita skip yang reciprocating sebab yang tu mungkin boleh kalau sempat kita cuba tengok juga lah. Macam tak sempat je ni. Kita tengok this one ni sebab ramai confuse yang about flywheel ni. Alright. Flywheel dia soalan dia melibatkan dua types kan. We have two types of flywheel, sama ada type 1 or type 2. Alright, ramai yang confused. Kita nak guna yang mana? Which type yang kita kena consider? Betul? Alright, so untuk menentukan type 1 or type 2, dia depends on which application yang kita ada. Alright, so dekat soalan pun kita boleh dapatkan hint dia. Alright, which type yang kita kena guna. Alright, look at this question. Figure question 3 shows a turning moment diagram required by a rolling machine. Alright, required by a rolling machine. The machine is driven by a 25 Newton meter constant torque motor and operates at a mean speed 500 RPM. Okay, the total mass moment of inertia of flywheel system is 3 kg meter squared. So determine the following. Okay, determine the following. So this one, which type? Type number 1 or 2? Type 1 or type 2? Type 2 kan? So type 2 lah, sebab biasanya soalan type 2 dia akan tanya number of product produced by machine in 1 hour. Yang melibatkan masa ni biasanya type 2 lah. Okay, so type 2. So first step adalah of course we need to identify which type first, type 1 or type 2, and then lepas tu soalan dia nak dapatkan time delta t. T is not given, so delta t. So what is our delta t? Okay, so first adalah we are given T apa? Kita ada T mean, isn't it? T mean is given 500 T mean pula. Kita ada T mean is 25 Nm and also we have mean speed. Omega mean is 500 rpm. Okay, so total mass moment of inertia of the flywheel system is 3 kg meter squared. So kita kena dapatkan delta T. Dekat mana kita punya one complete cycle? Which part is in it? Kat sini kan? This is our one complete cycle. One complete cycle. So we need to find delta T. Alright, just superimpose ataupun kita tahu input. Kalau type 2 dia menghasilkan apa? Constant input menghasilkan variable output ataupun variable input menghasilkan constant output. Yang mana? Constant input menghasilkan variable output kan. So ya ke? Mana satu ni? Variable output produce constant input. Constant input produce variable output. Which one yang betul ni? Variable output, constant input. Betul kan? Constant input menghasilkan variable output kan? Okay, so constant input menghasilkan variable output. So kita ada T constant. Padam pula. We have T constant dekat sini. Okay. So this is one complete cycle. Alright, kita tak tahu one complete cycle kat sini. Kita ada delta T. T plus berapa ni? 0. Berapa dia? One complete cycle 0.5 kan? So this one should be T plus 0.5 omega. Alright, you need to make sure that this one must be in terms of theta lah. Theta equals to T omega. Okay, so this is our T mean by T constant is 25 equals to, saya buat kat bawah lah, equals to we have 20. Alright, and then we have macam tu. Apa jadi kalau salah identify type? What happen kalau kita salah identify? Saya pun tak pasti. Mungkin dapat jawapan yang sama ataupun mungkin tak. Boleh try lah, saya tak cuba lagi. Jawapan yang sama. Itulah saya rasa macam jawapan yang sama juga sebab kita ambil yang we just tukar direction kan. Tapi tak apalah, kita tengok juga benda tu we need to consider as correct answer or not kalau salah type. Alright, because still ada, don't worry. Alright, so kat mana tadi? So kita bagikan yang mana yang paling senang, kita bagi macam ni lah. Kita bagikan this is our first area, this is our second area, and this is our third area. Okay, boleh? So kita ada T mean 25 times with T plus 0.5 omega equals to Yang kat bawah macam mana? Kita ada 20. Kita ambil yang this one first. Nombor 1, nombor 2, nombor 3. So kita ada we have berapa? 20 times with T plus 0.3. Is that correct? Betul? 20 plus T, 20 times T plus 0.3, this area. And then as number 2 kat sini berapa? Plus 1 over 2 times berapa? 0.2 times with tinggi adalah 100. Betul? 100. 100. Is that correct? Okay. And last one, kita ada yang dekat bawah should be plus negative. Ni you need to consider negative lah. Negative 15 times with 0.2 equals to 0. Sorry, tertinggal omega. Alright, omega. So, dapatkan T. Cuba dapatkan T. So, what is our T? So, dekat sini, we have 25 T plus 0.5 equals to 20T omega. Kita boleh cancel out terus lah. Alright, 20T plus 20 darab 0.3 plus 6. Alright, plus 0.5 darab 0.2 darab 100 10. Alright, minus 15 darab 0.2 3. Betul? So kita ada berapa? Kita ada 25T plus 25 darab 0.5 12.5 sama dengan 20T plus 6 plus 10 tolak 3. So T berapa? 25 tolak 20, 5T sama dengan 6 tambah 10 tolak 3 tolak 12.5. 0.5. Betul ke ni? Bagi 5. 0.1. T is 0.1. T is 0.1. Is that correct? T is 0.1. Area bawah tu kira negatif. Yes, kena kira juga kan? Ke tak kira? Saya rasa kena kira. Kena consider juga negatif. Ke ada yang tak kira? Kalau tak kira dapat berapa? You need to consider, saya rasa. Kena consider juga. We need to consider. Sebab apa? Kalau tak consider, berapa dapat kat sini? Kita dapat 1.3. So it is, that is not correct lah. Alright, we need to consider negative. So T is 0.1. Then, so what is our delta T? So this is our delta T lah. Jawapan dia kan? Okay. And B. B, the number of product produced by machine in 1 hour. Alright. So kalau one cycle menghasilkan produce 1 hour, okay. Satu produk memerlukan ataupun we need time about 0.6 for one product. So how many product we can produce within 1 hour? Okay, so let's say this is n, so we can find n. So n should be 3600 bahagi 0.6, then n should be 6,000 product. Is that correct? 6,000 product. Okay, 6,000 product. Alright, so next, C. The coefficient of speed fluctuation and hence the maximum and minimum speed of machine. So how to find coefficient of speed of fluctuation? So from here we need to proceed or consider next step, which is we superimpose our graph. Alright, superimpose our graph. Macam ni kita dapat, right, dekat sini adalah 20, one product is 0.6 dekat situ, 0.6, and then kita dekat mana sini, first adalah 20 dekat sini juga kan. Sorry, kita punya T-min 25, sorry. So first adalah 20 dekat sini, dia pergi sampai 0.1. This is 0.3, 0.4 and 0.6. Okay, so dia pergi dekat 0.1 and then dia naik sampai 120 dekat masa keberapa? 1, 2, 3, 0.3. Okay, dekat sini kan. So dia naik dekat sini. Okay, and then turun ke 20 balik. This is 20, 20, and then go to 0.4, 0.4, 20, and then downward to 15, negative 15. So negative 15, and then last one dekat sini. So dekat mana kita punya graph of superimpose, area of superimpose, which part? Kat sini kan. Okay, kat sini. Okay, so this is our graph lah. So consider this is A, this is B, this is C, this is D, and this is E. Okay, so type number 2 positive is downward, so positive A, negative B, positive C, and positive D. Okay, so let's A kita consider as U lah, initial, and then B tak boleh sekalikan doktor. Sekalikan macam mana? Sekalikan macam mana tu? C and D tak boleh, sebab kita kena tengok point setiap masa yang ada. Satu kat sini, ya, dekat boleh juga kalau nak sekalikan, tak ada masalah. Sekalikan terus sebelah tak apa, sebab saya kena tengok point yang ni, yang intersection, sorry. So point B, point C and point D kan, so boleh buat sekalikan lah. Saya tak sekalikan sebab senang nak kira, tapi tak apa, kalau kita sekalikan pun boleh. Sorry, this is point D, kita sekalikan lah, sebab 3 point sahaja kan intersection. Kat sini 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so A is U, B is berapa? Kat situ kita boleh dapatkan 0.1 dekat mana? Kat sini kan. So dapatkan dia punya value dekat sini. So dekat sini, let's say this is X, this is Y, this is 5, and this is berapa? 120 tolak 95, tolak 25, 95 kan? So boleh dapatkan nilai X. So kita tahu dekat sini berapa? Dekat sini adalah 0.2, isn't it? 0.2. So we get X over 5 equals to 0.2 over kita boleh dapatkan terus kat sini berapa? 100 kan? So X berapa? (0.2 bagi 100 darab 5) 0.01. Is that correct? So 0.01. So X is 0.01. Then distance ataupun jarak energi yang ada dekat B must be U plus 1 over 2 area of A. So berapa? Itu dia jadi apa? Jadi trapezoidal kan? Trapezoidal kan? So tinggi adalah 5, and then distance X and Y kita adalah, first adalah 0.1 plus 0.11 omega. Okay, so then kita dapat U plus berapa? 0.525 omega. Is that correct? Alright, and then C kena U plus 0.525 omega minus B. B adalah 1/2 jarak darab dengan 95 times with distance. Dekat sini berapa? It must be 0.19, isn't it? Sebab kita dah tolak dengan 0.01 tadi. So 0.19 omega. Alright, then kita dapat nilainya must be sama dengan berapa kat sini? (8.5). Is that correct? 8.5. So U minus 8.5 omega. 120 tolak 25. Yang mana? 120 tolak 25. Betul lah. Kita ambil this one B ni. This is 95. Okay, 95. So U minus 8.5 omega. U minus 8.5 omega, and last one D. So what happened? D, U minus 8.5 omega plus with distance of C. Distance of C. So berapa distance of C? Distance pula. Jarak of C. Jarak lagi. Area of C. Sorry, tersasul. Area of C. Area of C. Kejap kira dulu berapa? So berapa? What is our area of C? Should be 5 times with C to D 0.1. okay, 0.1 plus 15 campur dengan 25 berapa? 30 kan? Sorry, 40. 40 times with 0.2 omega. Alright, the answer should be 0. Should be U balik. Betul tak? Kalau tak dapat jawapan U tu maksudnya salah lah. Cuba kita kira betul ke tak. So 5 darab 0.1 tambah 40 darab 0.2. Betul lah. So should be U balik. Okay, boleh? U. So kita dapat U balik lah. So bila dapat U dan betul lah kita punya calculation. So what is our maximum energy? Should be point B kan. So this is E max. This is E min. Alright, E max adalah U plus, so E max kita adalah U plus 0.5 to berapa tadi? 0.5 to 5 omega. E min is U minus 8.5 omega. Alright, so from here we can actually find what is our beta E, which is E max minus E min. So we have U plus 0.5 to 5 omega minus U, dia akan jadi plus lah, betul, plus 8.5 omega. Then what is our beta E? Should be 9.025 omega. Is that correct? So daripada situ kita nak dapatkan apa? Coefficient of speed of fluctuation, which is alpha. So based on equation we have, kita ada BE equals to berapa? I alpha omega square. Is that correct? Kan? I alpha omega square, then we get our answer of alpha lah by using this equation. So kita ada 9.025 omega equals to I. I is given as 3 alpha times with omega square. So cancel out omega, then we can obtain what's the alpha. So 9.025 over 3 alpha. Alpha is given as 500, so convert to radian per second. So dapatkan alpha berapa? .057. So meaning to say that our alpha should be 0.057 times 100. So percentage of coefficient should be 5.7%. So this is our answer. Okay, and D, last one, the mass moment of inertia of flywheel which has to be added or removed for the system S to achieve the speed range of the motor between 495 and 505. Kita nak dapatkan mass moment of inertia of flywheel. Mass moment of inertia of flywheel, kita ada, we have N maximum is, kita boleh dapatkan N maximum dulu, which is N, which is 500 plus with alpha over 2 500. Betul? This is based on equation. If you remember lagi kita punya equation, N max is N maximum. Alright, so from here we can find N maximum of this case lah, for mass moment of inertia using 3 kg meter. Kita dapatkan this one first, dan kita akan dapat 514.25 rpm. Alright, and then dapatkan n minimum, which is n minus alpha over 2n, which is 500 minus alpha kita dapat tadi 0.057 bahagi 2 500, dan kita akan dapat berapa? 0.057 bagi 2 darab 500 tolak n 485.75. So this is our n min. So how to find our new mass moment of inertia should be added or removed? Okay, so dapatkan n min. N min kita dah ada 500, dan kita dapatkan yang kita dapatkan dia punya n maximum dan n minimum yang dia bagi. So n, this is yang dia bagi. So n minimum adalah 495 and maximum is 505. Dan kita boleh dapat n min, isn't it, using equation. So n maximum plus n minimum divided by 2, dan kita akan dapat 500 rpm juga, sama. Cuma bezanya kita dah ubah dari segi n max dengan n min. So dari situ kita boleh dapatkan alpha actually using formula juga. So n maximum minus n minimum divided by n min. So alpha kita akan dapat 0.02. Okay, 0.02. Then from here we can get our I flywheel by using equation lah. Kita ada BE I flywheel times with alpha omega squared. So BE maintain lah, dia akan sama walaupun kita ubah, sebab yang berubahnya adalah speed sahaja. Alright, so 9.025 omega kita dapat tadi should be equals to I flywheel times with alpha. Dia akan berubah lah sebab kita dah ubah dia punya maximum dan minimum speed, which is new alpha is 0.02 times with omega squared. Alright, so from here cancel out, dan kita boleh dapatkan I flywheel yang barulah. Omega kita adalah 500 tadi kan, dan convert to radian per second, dan kita akan dapat berapa? 0.02 darab dengan 500 darab 2 pi bahagi 60, and then 9.025 bagi n 8.62. I flywheel 8.62 kilogram meter square. So berapa should be added or should be removed? I flywheel. This is our new I flywheel. Compare dengan I yang dia bagi. Tinggi ke rendah yang kita dapat? Tinggi, so should be add lah. So I should be add adalah flywheel should be added is 8.62 minus 3, which is 5.62 kilogram meter square. So this is our answer lah. Okay, so we done. Ada soalan nak tanya? Any question? Tak ada? Habis dah? Any question? Want to ask? Yes. Alpha tak berubah. Alpha berubah lah. Nampak kita dah ubahkan alpha ni 0.02. Kita ambil new alpha untuk dapatkan I flywheel yang baru. Okay, kita dah ubah 0.02 ni. Okay, so I think we stop. Ada dekat B doktor. Error dekat B yang mana? Kenapa error dekat B? Alamak. Not responding pula. Okey. Error dekat B dekat mana? Dekat sini. Kenapa error dekat B? Macam mana boleh dapat? Error dekat B, mana B? Yang kita consider this one kan? 1/2 darab dengan 95 darab dengan 0.19. Yang ni ke yang masukkan? 95 tinggi from C to kat sini 95 kan, 120 tolak dengan 25, so dapatlah 95 kat sini. Okey, yang ni pula distance from B to C ni kita dah kira tadi. X ni consider daripada sini, nampak yang kecil yang saya buat ni adalah 0.01. jadi distance daripada point B ke sini should be 0.2 minus 0.01. So kita dapat 0.19 distance from X dekat horizontal ni. Boleh? So dapatlah jawapan dia U minus 8.5 omega. Alright. Yang 0.1 plus 0.11. Yang ni area dekat B. Okay. This one yang trapezoidal ni. Okay. Kan dia punya trapezium. Alright. Dia punya area of trapezium. Alright. So kat sini adalah 0.1. Kat atas ni 0.11. Dekat bawah ni 5. Okay. So dapatlah jawapan dia. Okay. Kita buat macam hari tu. Alright, kita buat macam tu. Tak perlu buka cam lah. Alright, so I will give or distribute your question based on time. Alright. Ataupun nanti saya akan discuss balik macam mana penyelarasan pelaksanaan test tu dengan other section. Okay. So for question number 2 is about reciprocating. So cuba tengok soalan yang berkaitan dengan V engine. Alright, cuba hadam betul-betul soalan berkaitan dengan V engine. Okay. Ada soalan? Nak tanya lagi? So kalau tak ada soalan, then we stop here. Then don't forget our test 2 will be this coming Saturday 9 AM, not 9 PM. Alright, 9 AM, 9 pagi sampai 11 pagi. Okay. Your test 2 will be 9 AM until 11 AM. Alright. Pelaksanaan semua dalam e-learning lah. Kemungkinan saya akan buat macam hari itulah. Alright. So if no question, then you can yes, ada lagi.
Yang alpha yang baru tu.
Kenapa?
Dia omega ke omega max tolak omega min ke n max tolak n min?
Sama je, dapat yang sama juga. Sama je. Alright, sama je. Cuma kalau n max dia dalam bentuk RPM, omega dalam bentuk radian per second. Alright, selalu kalau kita buat omega, then kita akan dapat jawapan yang sama. Tapi rumus yang officialnya kita guna n lah, n maximum dalam bentuk RPM. Okay, tapi don't worry, jawapan akan sama juga kalau guna omega pun. Okay, boleh?
Okay, terima kasih.
Yes.
Yang formula n min sama dengan n tolak alpha over 2n tu dari mana?
Daripada sini.
Yang n max sekali.
This one. Mana? N daripada alpha ni. Dari sini saya modify equation ni, dapatlah yang macam ni. Mana?
Oh, okay.
Ni equation yang penting ni. N min dengan alpha ni, equation alpha. So untuk dapatkan mana tadi? So okay, dapat ini kan. Dia using, dia guna dua ni je. Mana tadi? Dia guna 2 equation ni je. Mana yang security ni kan? Ni kan? Yang ni ke? Kan? So yang ni based on that equation. Modify daripada sini je. So dapat Mx dia. Okay?
Oh, okay. Faham.
Alright, so if no question, then we stop here. Then minggu depan we have 2 more topics sebenarnya yang kita nak cover, which is free undampered 2DOF and forced undampered 2DOF. So hari Rabu depan kita akan buat sedikit tutorial about topik yang dah cover minggu lepas, which is forced dampered 1DOF. And then hari Khamis I will distribute 2 videos with 2 topics, which is free undampered 2DOF and forced undampered 2DOF. So di sana lebih kurang. So saya akan bagi 2 video, and then last week of our lecture this semester, 2 minggu lagi kan. So last week tu then kita akan discuss about that topic lah, 2DOF. Alright, boleh? Okay, so kita pun dah menghampiri semester ni dalam 2 minggu lagi. So harap dapat consider balik lah, ataupun dapat revise balik lah apa yang kita dah belajar. So apa-apa soalan tak faham, just tanya je. Alright, anytime saya ada masa, saya akan jawab lah WhatsApp. So maaf lah kalau lambat jawab tu. Ni ada yang tengah malam message kan, memang saya tak jawab lah tengah malam tu. Alright, so kalau lambat maaf lah kalau lambat saya reply. So good luck hari Sabtu ni, your test tu, and then don't forget your project kena siapkan dan hantar bila? Last week of our lecture. Saya tak ingat, check balik lah dekat e-learning. Dan apa lagi nak pesan, tu je lah kot. Nantilah kita pesan balik yang lain lagi. So thank you very much for your cooperation today. So good luck for your test 2 this coming Saturday. So you can dismiss now. Assalamualaikum.